Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jose Trujillo. This is a little segment I want to introduce right here. My wife shared with me earlier a little quote by Russell Brand, the British, I don't know, is he an actor, comedian? What the hell does he do? He's an actor, huh? I think he is. What does Russell Brand do? He's an actor, no?
Yeah.
He's a comedian?
He's a comedian and actor.
Comedian, actor, yeah. My wife shared with me this quote that said, if you... What did the quote say? If you...
By justifying your problems, you recommit to them.
You recommit... Oh, that's a good one. By justifying your problems, you recommit to them. It really hit a note in me when I read that. Because it's just I think it's a more eloquent way of saying, stop it with the excuses. Just stop the excuses. Every time that we talk about, well, I didn't do this because of that, or if I only had this, or if there was only more of that, or if there was another 2 hours in the day, and on and on and on, what you're really doing is you're recommitting to the same problem. Every time you justify them, every time you say, I don't have enough of this, or I only need that. Oh, I know what happened. This is why this thing didn't come through, or I didn't get a gallery show, or whatever. Man, I look good. Look at this hair. You're really recommitting to them. And when I read that quote, it was just a reminder, because I know that as a human being, it resonated so much, because I believe that from time to time we go through cycles. We go through cycles. We go through things in life, and if you're not careful, if we are not careful, if we don't see ourselves, if we don't pay attention to our behavior, we keep recommitting to the same problem. We keep speaking in the same way, and therefore creating the same behavior.
And then the same problem.
And the same problem again, yeah. You speak the same way, right? You create the same behavior, and then the problem just pops up again, over and over, like fucking Groundhog Day. It's like, what was that other movie that we watched? That was like Groundhog Day?
Happy Death Day?
Happy Death Day. Pretty much like that.
Groundhog Day is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Dude, Bill Murray.
And I really loved Happy Death Day.
Happy Death Day was a good movie.
It was based on Groundhog Day.
It sure was.
But it was a scary version of it.
But it was good.
It was good.
It was good. I just didn't hear the 50 Cent little jingle anymore.
Because it doesn't come out in the movie. It was just for the
preview. For the promo. They couldn't pay 50 Cent all that money, huh? To keep playing it.
Yeah, the reason why that resonated with me and I sent it to you is because sometimes when we're not doing the things that we need to do in our business, we're like, oh, what could it be? What's going on? What
could it be now?
And I had a talk with you recently where I was like talking to you about this, about how like that we can't create success and or change if we're constantly making or trying to find reasons as to why it's wrong. Like there has to be some sort of sustainable solution, right? Yeah. And so when I read that, it just really hit home, because I feel like that's the thing we've been working on.
Right. Yeah.
Because people don't realize, like, excuses sound like, we get confused. Excuses sound like, oh, well, I just don't feel like doing it, right?
Right.
But I think that the way that he worded it, when you justify, right?
Yeah, that's
what people don't realize that they're doing that. Like earlier you were talking about like investing all your energy in like a bad relationship or something, right? And like people justify all kinds of reasons why something's in their relationship is wrong.
Yeah.
And that justification just lets you make it's then you don't even know that you're making excuses to be in that bad space, which creates all those problems for you, right?
Yeah, excuses don't look like excuses.
They don't look like excuses.
That's the funny shit about
this.
this.
So when our prices turn, or we're not selling enough, or whatever, then when we try to find the justification of why it's happening, that's when we recommit. Because I told you, we were talking about it. We were like, oh, why did this switch up? Why did this change? And it's in the whys that you create the excuse instead of doing the work and moving out of it.
Yeah. It's in the looking for the whys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the looking for the whys is also like really self-indulgent.
It is.
And so and it's self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
When you are looking for the why. Because it allows you to be the victim to what's happening instead of being the solution to what's happening. So when I read that quote, it was really powerful. It was really, really powerful.
I also believe that when you don't roll your sleeves and move on, I don't think that you can even see it.
Right. Well, because excuses are like hidden.
They're hidden, yeah. You're convinced of your excuses. Mm-hmm. You convince yourself of your excuses. You convince yourself of, well, this didn't happen because of that or whatever. You start convincing yourself of, I don't know, whatever excuse you're making in your own life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, that's deep.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Well, guys, if you have any experience with this, please share it. Let me know. Let others know. I think that as human beings, we have a tendency to come up with as many excuses as we can. I think that we're excuse-making machines often, and the funny thing is that they don't look like excuses. They look legit. They look real. This came up, or that came up, or the traffic, or whatever. They look so real.
Yeah.
And when you're saying them, they feel justifiable and real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's something wrong with this, or there's something wrong with it. There ain't nothing wrong with anything. You're stuck. You're stuck thinking about the same thing and recommitting to the same problem. And it's a hell of a thing to do this whole art thing if you're doing it by yourself. I highly recommend you getting yourself a group of people, or going out of your way with other people, so that you don't consume yourself with all these thoughts.
Yeah.
And move on and do something else. And I said this in the morning. If you're a painter, you shouldn't spend all your day painting. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't spend all your day painting. You shouldn't spend all your day marketing. You shouldn't spend all your day in a single activity. You should spend your whole day in multiple activities.
Yeah.
Because then you don't pigeonhole yourself into one thing. If you spend your whole day, just think about it this way, guys. If you spend your whole day working on a portrait and working on the nose of a portrait, you see what I mean? Like, I know that there's a trend right now for hyper-realist painters and all of that. That's great. But this doesn't mean that you spend all day there. You could spend 1 hour there. I don't know, and then move on. You could spend an hour, you could spend 30 minutes, whatever you need to spend, and then move on. Move on to something else. I think that this is one of the reasons why Monet used to work in different canvases at the same time. I think he understood that. You start working on one thing and you get stuck. He actually used to lay multiple canvases.
Yeah.
So that I think so that he wouldn't pigeonhole his head into he wouldn't put himself into a hole.
Right.
Be like, oh my God, this painting, and just obsess about a painting, and move on. Okay, well, now I'm doing this, now I'm doing that. And the more you flip the pages of activities, I think that you have a better chance of actually reaching your goals.
I agree.
So, oh man, this fell. Bam. All right, guys, take care. I hope you enjoy this little segment. Let us know. My wife and I like to share our experiences. And if you enjoy this, let us know. If you don't, or if you want us to talk about something that is important to you, let us know too. We don't know everything, but we're pushing and kicking and moving forward. And take care. Peace.